Welcome again to this Ambura tutorial. In line with the previous tutorial of this series, I will be delivering this last part, which is cloning radio signals, the same as the infrared cloning. I suggest you to take a look at the original publication. You will find it in the description. As you will see, it has the very basics, but a good starting point. In this tutorial, I will show you a script that is able to clone and emit. It has the same concept as the infrared code. In fact, you will see that the code is pretty similar. Without further ado, let's get started. We will use an Arduino board, a few cables, and of course a 433 MHz radio receiver and emitter board. Bear in mind, you can use as well other frequencies, but that will depend on the device you want to clone. As you can see, I use this way of connecting the boards. I have to mention that I have seen other ways of connecting them, but for me this way works perfectly. The receptor is connected to the 3.3 volts and to the analog A0, and the emitter to 5 volts and the digital pin 4. Going into the code, at the top of our script, you will find the definition of variables we will be using to configure the behavior of the cloning and emitting. The loop part will be expecting 1 or 2 in order to clone or emit. The wait and clone function will be in charge of reading A0 pin until it flashes and store the high and low states of the signals into the signals array. To be super honest, I cannot explain much about the values of the threshold, max signal length, or time delay, since they are a product of trial and error. They worked for me on many radio frequency devices. I don't discard you may need to fine-tune them to make it work for a specific device. For example, time delay has the value of 105. You can change that value to fit your needs. Read signals from serial function has no mystery. It reads the string incoming from the serial and store it in signals array in order to be ready for later execution. You will notice this function is the same for the code of the infrared cloning one. Finally, sendSignal function sends the signal stored in signals array by looping it and delegating the turning on and off to sendRadioSignal command function. As mentioned, this sketch follows same logic as its ancestor infrared. Read the signals, store them in an array, receive the signals, and emit them. The only variation is in how the signal is interpreted. In this case, in each element of the array, we store alternatively the low and high states of the sensor as time values. As I did with the infrared tutorial, I will test this with the shell I made using the slots for the radio boards. You will have to attach the boards with cables. It's not that bad, you may have to handle them with care at the moment of pointing the LED to the desired device. Taking advantage of the interface we created in the previous tutorial, and since the input and output of the radio cloner and cloner emitter sketch follow the same pattern as the infrared one, waiting for signal, reading serial, and so on, the board is ready to clone or receive the signal sequence from the serial, or 1, 2 for activating the board cloning and emitting. We are going to use the same interface to control the board. It will let us clone, emit, save, and retrieve signals from different radio devices. This diagram shows in a simple way how this project is composed and how we will test it. As you may know, nowadays radio devices work with ciphered communications, which basically means that it's not possible to intercept and clone the signals between the emitter and the receiver. In some cases, the signaling is different in each interaction, and the signal cannot be repeated. You may be able to intercept the signals, but even though you can repeat it, the receptor will not accept. This makes these kind of devices more secure. In other cases, some devices will establish a communication back and forth, like conversation, in order to activate, open, or whatever the device does. Of course, to achieve this, you will need more complexity in the code if you want to keep using these kind of ports, or more technology, like for instance using modern radio ports like the HC12 module or the NRF24L01 module. So, in the future, I will be exploring these new strategies and technologies to create a new series of tutorials. But for a starting point, and why not automate one or two lights or whatever you want to control, this sketch will come in very handy. See you in the next one and have a good one.